Good evening, everybody. Tonight we're going to jump back into Divinity Original Sin 2. It's been a minute, basically 2 weeks since we played this. We last stopped right when we decided to resist arrest, which basically aggroed the entire city that we were sitting in right now. So I elected to reset and quit for the night. Last time, I already know we can't, I don't think we can finesse her either way. And if you resist, you aggro the whole city. Oops. That's why there was no sound. I still have a little bit of a cough. I can't seem to shake it. So I have a couple cough drops, and of course, water is always helpful. So I think we're going to allow him to be arrested and see where that takes us. Because we can go ahead and go through the persuasions again, because I know they both fail. Yeah.
Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mezd.
One eye squints, the other bulges out even further, as if to compensate.
Oh, it's you, all right. It's definitely you.
Now let's try this again. Feign a thick Sicilian accent to deny it while continuing to look puzzled. Wink and say you can see what she wants to have you locked up all to herself. Oh, I'm gonna finesse that. Oh.
Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mezd.
She considers your offer.
How much?
Let's go with a reasonable sum, 50 gold.
So little. You can sit and think about your stinginess at leisure, in a prison cell.
Alright, let's reset. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, the problem is he doesn't have any persuasion. You almost have to build every character the same, so that whenever they get to their quest lines, that they can actually do them themselves. Let's try and do this again.
Your little tricks won't work on me, Ben Mez.
One eye squint.
Oh, it's you, all right. It's definitely you.
I'm gonna go with 2. Yeah, so that needs even a higher one.
Your little tricks won't work on...
She considers your...
So much. You have to be hiding something, and I'm sure Dallas will be well able to find out what that something is. Now, come on. Back into a cage where you belong.
Say that she'd be wise to ignore your presence completely. Yeah. Alright, we're just gonna let him arrest her. Because I don't want to fight the whole town, and I don't think I can avoid her. And we'll see where it takes us. Worst case scenario, I'll reload it before this conversation ever happened, and we'll go from there. Get caught breaking the law. So the rest of my team is outside.
Keeping it together, Bree. I'm all right, as long as I don't think I do too much. You're safe among friends.
Spotted something.
Hold it right there, prisoner.
They took all his stuff. And I don't think I have another bow. Because I always gave him all bows. Well, that's a little problematic. Escaped from jail. So these guys are level 9, I'm level 10. I think I'll kill them and find my gear. Oh, that's a silent watcher. So is that. Okay. So are they not going to come after me then? I think if I try and do this, though, she's gonna get stunned from the... No, let's kill her pets first.
Three berries before me.
Dang, I didn't expect her to kill him. Okay. Really was murdered in cold blood? How rude. Dang. They just... Wow. Seriously? Okay, that guy got stunned. I think I'll just throw daggers at him. Because nobody's going to be able to melee him because he's got his shock on the ground. Dang, they've almost killed him. Don't really want to hit him because he'll... That's... That's crazy how he's still hitting my guy after... After he's shocked. There we go. What?
Down.
There we go. Oops. I'll get him in a second. What are the books up here? suppose I should. There we go. A special ring. Summons Fire Slug. Sorcerer's Most Wanted. Mortis, dwarf, suspected links to local dwarven malfactors. Last seen Driftwood vicinity, known associates of Lohar. Search the area beneath the Black Bull Tavern. Riker, elf. Known Lone Wolf affiliate, not to be challenged by our forces by order of the White Magisters. Okay, so we met Riker already. And then there's Ifan. So that gives us some names to go to. Okay. Not many things rhyme with essence I've known since my adolescence, but shot by the bow and elemental arrow is not like any other weapon. Oh, that's just nonsense. He doesn't really need... This is the guy who needs intelligence. And he's got a ring of intelligence. I think I'll switch those out. Your fire slug can create... Oh, that's a... That requires... Source. That's a source skill. Okay, so where's his weapons and stuff? Oh, is it right? It's right here. No. There's his weapons. Cool. Alright. Ah. I think I'll get rid of the Ring of Glory. Okay. I don't think I want to go up here, but we're going to go up here just to see. Bridgekeeper. Oh, it's Mary. Oh,
Come on, can't I go play?
oops. Well, let's go down the hole and see what's down here. Okay. Oh, this is the tavern. Oh, cool.
Down for a little scuffling and tussling? Let's see if you got some fight in ya.
You're the best of the best. Demand a battle versus the Driftwood Arena champion. Tell him you're the champion of the arena of Fort Joy and you plan to conquer this place too. I'm gonna go with 3. Let's get cocky.
Well, that just may interest our current champion, Murga. She'll want to talk with you herself before she'll assent to any challenge. Watch your words, mind. She takes against you, there'll be no talking yourself into her good graces again.
Alright.
On your way, then.
What's he got to sell? Wow. Ooh, there's a 2-handed mace. Shields seem ridiculously powerful in this game. Oh, here's a waypoint. Nice. Okay, so here's another button. So that's the arena they'll fight in. Clarissa.
Are you? Are you? No, you aren't.
Good to meet you, Governor. What's your poison, then? A sip or a smoke?
I'm gonna do number 2. Wave your hand through the wafting smoke and ask if that's Durdane you're smelling.
Aye, so it is. But not just any Drudnay. Oh no.
Durdane.
My own special blends. Further down's the arena, see? And the gladiators are always on the lookout for an edge. I give them that edge. You could say that my darling herbs flower in the flesh and blossom in the brain. So, if you're interested, Governor, all you have to do is use your imagination. How can I make you bloom?
Yeah, I'm good.
No problem.
Oops.
In return for a reasonable
I'm glad they didn't actually expect me to take that. What level are these? These guys are all level 9. Oh, here's Lohar.
What do you want? Boss is busy.
Say you're here on business.
Good. Boss could use some good news. Listen up. Don't waste his time. These are explosive times. Be respectful.
Easy. Marla's one of us.
I brought you up from girl to woman, Marla. Like you was my own. This.
He lifts his right arm, showing a white bandage beneath his ribs. A wet red spot shows through.
This ain't the thanks I expected. Who sent you?
The formidable dwarf slams his fist on the side table. You hear a loud crack.
Enough! Do you know they killed Anhar? Do ya? Start talking sense or I'll take that tongue right out of your mouth and fry it for supper.
I kind of want to interject to see what's going on. It sounds like she's tried to assassinate him and ended up killing somebody else. Let's ask what's happening.
Bart, Kate, get her to talk or bleed her out. She ain't one of mine anymore.
His sneer travels from the restrained dwarf to you.
And you. You better have a damn good reason for coming here.
Come, sister. What did you think was gonna happen?
The battered dwarf pulls her lips back.
Wasn't it him who wanted to come here?
Brave lad, waltzing in here now. I hope for your sake you've got good news for me.
Say you may, depending on what he's interested in, but there are things you want to know too. I'm gonna go with 2. Actually, I want to talk about the door first.
Family matter. She's one of mine. Acting like her brains are scrambled, though. Came after me with a knife. Lucky for me, she caught an old wound. Scar slowed down the knife. So, how'd you make it out of Fort Joy?
We're gonna go with cockiness. So number 2, smile broadly and regale him with the tale.
I've got to say I'm impressed. I love a good story. Here's one I heard lately. A group of strangers landed on the beaches outside town. Meister Seaver's people. You one of her little seekers? Chasing down Godwoken and begging them to save us all?
Note he doesn't sound convinced of their cause. Tell him you're one of such Godwoken, he can start begging any time. Let's get cocky.
That's so.
He leans back and narrows his eyes, looking you up and down.
You know, the order's been going on about Godwoken for an eon now. Voidwoken's still lurking, though. They're still hauling folks off to the Joy. So if you are who you say you are, what's the point of you?
Say that if he wants to find out there's something you need to know. I'm gonna be honest with him. Let's go with number 2.
Let me guess. Siva sent you off looking for sorcerers, and it just so happens I can help you. Depending on what you can do for me.
Say all you need is names, those won't cost him anything. I'm gonna ask him what he has in mind.
He gestures towards the bandage across his side.
Had a bit of family trouble lately. My girl Marla got it in her head to come after me with a short blade. That ain't like Marla. Ain't like her to pull the silent treatment either. Something's going on. And wouldn't you know it, that blade she used wasn't any normal bit of steel. Belonged to another of my people. Guy's name is Mordus. Bit of a loner, but smart as hell. I sent a few guys to go check on him, see if he knew what had got into Marla, but no one can find him. I'd like a word with the guy.
Yeah, let's go ahead and... Sounds reasonable.
Glad you see it that way. No one's seen him in a good few. I've got some people checking out his house near the tavern now, though. Tell them I sent you, and they'll let you know what they've found. Truth is, they might be glad to see you. Reckon a sorcerer will have better luck finding one of their own.
Ask if there's anything else you should know.
Well, like I said, Mordus is a special guy. A sorcerer, matter of fact. Maybe even one of the ones Siva's after. If there's something you want to find out from him, you might want to ask before I have my word with him.
Oh. Ooh, look at that fancy dagger. It's nothing compared to mine, though. Even though that ability is not too
One of
bad.
us. How could you do it?
Here, you can take this off my hands. More suited to your kind, really.
Woohoo!
Good luck.
Tell the truth now. Who was it that sent you?
The battered dwarf pulls her...
Alright. So another quest added to the list. Where does this take us? Probably outside.
What's this? I found something.
Oh, nice. Let's see what this takes us.
What
Wow.
would I do without you, Rude?
If they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to
Keep
doing, will you?
Weep, my friend.
You're good with the
For
magic changing in
Alexander
your
the Innocent.
So we're inside the tavern. You know what? I don't see a reason to continue on that road.
The bell still rings. Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
A weathered woman in a dirty sea captain's tunic babbles breathlessly to herself, and somewhere nearby you hear a bell ringing.
The bell rings a warning and the tide is on the turn. And I without my compass.
Last about her ship.
The ship is in the locker. On the bottom in the rocky shallows. And all are drowned but me. And yet, can you hear? The bell rings on. The bell haunts me yet, and it would drive me mad.
I can see a sorcerer from a mile away.
Almost pushed the wrong button. Mystic, tell her you hear the bells and cruel laughter too.
I'm haunted by my crew. They ring the bell to drive me mad. Please, make it stop.
She buries her head in her hands and cries.
Make it stop.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
Yep.
It's a shame, it is.
An absolute shame.
Let them know that idle gossip. Oh, nope. I'm asking about what they're talking about.
Alexander, slaughtered like a supper lamb. Poor dear.
It ain't right.
It ain't right. Never thought I'd say this, but I hope they round up them sorcerers for good. I ain't needing one sick in a void working on me.
You said it, Hilka. You're a true patriot.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard?
Lush, somehow.
Then you're an idiot.
It's as lush as it's always been. Now train your eyes on my treasures, not my curse.
Yes, my lord.
What? How high is it? Is she wearing her glove? Nope.
You've got a pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
Curiosity
And
kills
I'm
should
the
give
saying
her
cat.
four,
You can
right?
get it sent to Fort
I can see
Joy.
a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know. If I can get Alexander, then...
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
Ooh, another face ripper. Take the book of rhyme. Why is there a dead rat in here?
Curiosity kills the cat. Or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
Grab these books.
One night with a lizard.
Why do you shiver so? This room is temperate enough, is it not?
Quite so, my lord. Quite so. The atmosphere in here is spooky.
Spooky?
You've got a pick who you can
Or
trust.
should I check the cupboards for ogres?
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away.
Curiosity kills the cat.
And you can't be too careful, you know. If I can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
One night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Oh, wait a minute. The elves came again looking for the Rain amulet. Oh, alright, took care of that. Alright, here's the books. I can deduct one recipe from this book, but this reads more like a puzzle than a recipe. I will have to experiment with what I can learn from these rhymes. Creepy dead magic requires one shadow, and ghoulish ingredients, skulls and bones, bone marrow. With parchment and paper, you then can compose malevolent magic and sinister scrolls.
You've got a pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me.
The
I can
blank
see a
asks
sorcerer
mighty
from a mile
blank
away.
for the power to fly.
And you can't be too careful, you know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
Hubert Huron
You're right about that.
ruminates on the
Right as
powers
rain,
of
Hilda.
certain sorcerers to manipulate the very earth beneath their feet. That's not what I wanted to do. This goes there. This goes down here. That's trash.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
Don't get close to
You've got to
Mouse
pick who
Alice,
you can
else she'll
trust.
turn you to a toad. Don't you dare kick Alice.
You got that right,
Alice,
Hilka.
or you'll
You
be
got that
a
right.
pigeon toad.
And I'm
She's
saying
sick her
you can
rats
trust
and
me.
call her
I
cows.
can see a
She'll feed
sorcerer
you
from a mile
to the
away.
camps of bats.
And you can't be too
Don't say hi to
careful, you
Mouse
know?
Alice or you'll fly
If they can
off
get
with-
Alexander, they can get any of
What
us.
the devil are you staring at?
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilda.
Oops, that was the wrong one.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
It's as lush as it's always been. Now train your eyes on my treasures,
You're
not my
willing to
person.
risk Fort Joy for one night
Live their
with a
lives from
lizard?
killing and feeding and roaming in
Then
courtship.
you're an idiot.
Death fog kills most living things instantly, but trolls may actually develop immunity with mild, prolonged exposure. If you encounter such a beast, they may be harmed only when the curse is applied to the appropriate attack method. Trolls are typically omnivorous, but many are known to develop a taste for humanoid flesh. These creatures often lose their weaknesses entirely, though as constructs of flesh and blood, they are not
Curiosity
indestructible.
kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk
You've got to
Fort
pick who
Joy
you
for
can
one night with a
trust.
lizard?
You got that
Then you're an
right,
idiot.
Hilda. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful, you know?
That's funny
If they can
because
get
four
Alexander,
sorcerers
they can get any of us.
just walked past you.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilda.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
Why do you Here now. When one's in a small town, one must expect small town manners, I see. Have you a reason for barging into my room, sir?
You didn't mean to offend. Apologies for the intrusion.
No harm done, I suppose. Though why I pay good money for these so-called bodyguards is another question entirely. Still, I may as well introduce myself. Baron Levere, at your service.
You mentioned bodyguards. Ask why he's in need of a guard.
I'm a wealthy man, and wealthy men need protection, especially if they accompany their wealth. The merchant's burden, you see. He must escort his merchandise, always.
I wouldn't mind having a look at his wares.
Music to my ears. A happy accident after all, you're barging into my room. If there's anything else you need, know you're always welcome.
Well, that's pretty darn good. Wow.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with
dang.
a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
It's a shame that she's using that set.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
Oh, that's a spear.
You got that right, Hilda.
Curiosity
that
kills
right.
the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
And I'm saying you can trust me.
I like those, but I don't think I have anybody that can actually wear them.
And you can't be too careful, you know.
Well, I take that back. He could wear them.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilda.
I still can't believe they gave him a... I don't know why I have that.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard? Then you're an idiot.
I don't like selling unique stuff. Oh, that's my barter belt. Oh well.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilda. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to
And you
Fort
can't be
Joy.
too careful, you know. If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're willing to risk Fort
You're
Joy
right
for
about
one
that.
night with a
Right as
lizard?
rain, Hilda.
Then you're an idiot.
Wonder if I should just outright buy that. Because those are actually really good. And I don't think he can cast haste.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy. You're willing to risk
let's do
Fort
that.
Joy for one night with a lizard?
Ask where his travels are taking him.
Travels, you say? And why would you assume I'm a traveling man?
Let's start with the boots.
He laughs heartily.
Of all things, I wouldn't have thought my boots would give me away, but you're quite right, of course. I am traveling, yes, to Arx. Lucian's Day will be upon us soon, a celebration no man with a heart that is both as pious and mercantile as mine should miss.
Inquire after Lucian's Day and his reasons for attending.
I go because it is every citizen's duty, our communal obligation to chant the rites of the return and pray for Lucian's divine resurrection. That said, I do have more secular motivations as well. Arx positively overflows with pilgrims during the festival, pilgrims and their purses. As a merchant, it is quite my favorite day of the year.
As you approach the silken-robed noble, Ifan does a double-take and laughs in recognition.
I know this man, and he's not at all what he seems. A moment.
Wave my head.
Ifan bounds forward and embraces the man, all effusive greetings. As they part, talking animatedly, the man's beard slips sideways down his face. He's wearing a disguise. Ifan laughs as he straightens the beard. They chatter away for some time, using a guttural cant you struggle to understand. At one point, the man says something and looks over at you intently. Ifan waves his hand and laughs.
Let them continue.
The man hunkers down and seems to be sketching a rough map on the floor, using an apple, some playing cards, and a fistful of threads pulled up from the carpet. Ifan claps the man on the back and turns to leave.
Well, now we know the way to the sawmill. And we know Roos thinks I'm bringing you there as part of the Godwoken contract. Hear that? Roost's camped out at the sawmill.
Nice.
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
Alright, making some progress here.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard?
You've got to pick who you can...
Sparkle, twinkle. And
Tell me, if they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be
You've
scared
got
of.
enough in front of you, elf.
Yeah? You're good with the magisters caging anyone up that looks at... I don't think you know even a smaller good if it bit you on the arse.
Weep, my friends, for Alexander.
An elf sways on her chair, her eyes focused on the counter in front of her, where she has 6 glasses in a row. With the nails of 2 fingers, she's pressing red welts into her forearm. She slides one of the drinks towards you, her head bobbling heavily on her neck as she nods at the sparkling ale.
And that.
Look, from her to the drink, we'll take a drink.
Nothing like a glass of the good stuff to smudge everything into a pretty shape.
She slides another glass of ale toward you. Its contents sparkle in the dim barlight.
Bottoms up.
Say you're not in the habit of telling pretty girls no and gulp down the second drink. I'm gonna go with 2.
Can you just not? Cheers to you, me, and
Her gaze swivels around the room.
Damien's dull knife. This place is horrible. Never mind. Cheers to you, me, and me again.
So she's one of Damien's.
Another.
Your face feels nearly numb. The first 2 drinks are hitting you hard. Feeling bold, you take the 3rd glass and swallow down the other side. Now at the glass, uncertain of whether you should take it, your head is starting to swim. Your whole body feels warm. Screw up your face. You look at her closely. She's not like any of the elves you've met so far. I'm going with 4.
What do you mean?
Says the way she talks, you'd mistake her for a dwarf if you didn't know better. Say you've never known enough to do a thing like drink alone at a bar.
These are changing times or whatever.
She raises a glass and glances at yours on the bar.
It's a changing times.
I'm going for the second, number 2.
Ah, down the old ouch. Oh, reckon that was. Reckon that was. Reckon a 1 too many.
Weep, my friends, for Alexander the Innocent. Killed by sorcerers, a most vile incident.
If they got nothing to hide, they got nothing to be scared of.
A valiant warrior against the void.
So I can't pickpocket her.
Wheel of the good stuff.
A prim woman in a starched apron wipes a glass with a clean rag. She pins you with blue, steel-sharp eyes as you approach the bar.
Blessings upon our Lucian, 7 times divine.
Tell her there's no sense in passing a blessing to a dead god.
Menu simple.
Nod your head in deference.
Drink or roll.
We'll go with 2.
Her eyes soften and crinkle as she smiles.
I see your mother raised you very well indeed. Rare for a lizard, but all the more impressive. You and my Neds might even get along. What brings you to Driftwood, darling?
Lion Tire, you heard there have been quite some trouble with Void walking here and you want to offer your assistance. Tell the truth.
For joy? Praises be, but that's where my boy Niles is stationed. He's the physician overseeing all the camp.
I'm gonna go with 1.
Yes, that's my boy. Did you know him? Finest physician in all of Reaper's Coast. Top of his class. But it's been too long since I've seen him.
Say you knew him to be a fine physician.
A fine physician indeed. That's my boy. Some say all a growing child needs is food and sunshine. I say abstinence and chastity will grow him finer than either one of those. Oh, but it's so good to meet a friend of Niles. Here, have a little something to eat. Niles' favourite, you know. No one in our little town can appreciate work so fine as his, you know. All his instruments and books are stored away upstairs, all but forgotten. It's such a terrible waste.
Tell Niles once described his old room to you. He said that if you were ever in Driftwood, he'd like to show it to you. Say that as someone who knew her son work well, you'd be highly interested in taking a look at his notes and implements. I'm pretty sure that's the room I already broke into. Let's go with the wits and see if we can't persuade her. Yes!
Well, I'd love to show you, but I'm afraid I can't leave the bar unattended. This crowd isn't to be trusted, believe you me. But I suppose, well, there's no harm, is there? You seem to be a good sort. One of Lucian's own, isn't that right? Here, take this key and head on up the stairs. You'll find Niles' room there. He'd want to know his fine things weren't languishing unappreciated in his old room.
Menu simple. Eat or drink.
Do you hear it?
Oh, there's another area over here.
Curiosity kills the cat. Or gets it sent to Fort George. You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard.
Why do you shiver, sir?
Then
This
you're
room
an
is
idiot.
temperate enough, is it not?
Quite so, my lord. Quite so. The atmosphere in here is spooky.
You've got to pick who you can trust.
You got that right, Hilka. You got that right.
And I'm saying you can trust me. I can see a sorcerer from a mile away. And you can't be too careful.
Yeah, so I already...
You know? If they can get Alexander, they can get any of us.
You're right about that. Right as rain, Hilka.
You're willing to risk Fort Joy for one night with a lizard. Then you're an idiot.
Alright. Ooh, rotten eggs.
The bell still rings. Do you hear it? Do you hear it?
Curiosity kills the cat, or gets it sent to Fort Joy.
Finally! Your colleague over there is absolutely useless. I'll have a bowl of the house stew, if you please.
Offer him a fragrant bowl of the house stew.
Ah! You truly are my saviour.
He inhales deeply over the stew, savouring the scent of it, then scoops up a large chunk of meat and swallows it down, seemingly without chewing. He pauses in anticipation, then frowns.
Rather disappointing, isn't it? After all I've been through, yet another tragedy.
He lowers his gaze, then looks up at you expectantly.
Number 2. Relent and ask him what's the matter.
His lip trembles dramatically.
It's my mentor. My dear mentor. He was killed by those void beasts. I told him we ought not to travel in the hills, but would he listen? No. Now here I sit, my closest companion gone, our precious cargo worth more than Lucian's right ring, lost to the beast-infested wilds. And on top of it all, the stew was a disappointment.
Ask him to tell you more about his missing supplies. Perhaps you can retrieve it.
Ah, then perhaps my luck has changed. Yes, perhaps this awful business might soon be behind me. Tell me, how are you with, well, Void Woken?
Say they've given you trouble in the past, you're not. Tell them you can deal with them when they cross you.
Ah, terrific news. Then what I ask will be little more than a trifling. My mentor, Liam, and I were hauling in a goodly number of fine wares from the Southlands when we crossed paths with a great brute of a Void Woken. It made short work of Liam, may the gods rest his soul. I managed to escape, but my precious cargo was left behind. We'd invested our entire livelihood in those wares. I'd do anything to get them back.
I'm gonna go with the first option, but you'll be wanting your fair share of the takings.
Of course. Of course. We'll, discuss the specifics once you've returned. Now, give me your map. I'll show you just where to look. I doubt those beasts out there have any use of such a cargo. I can't tell you how thoroughly you've made my day.
Against all odds.
Menu simple. Eat.
Ma, I'm fine.
Now here's the question, am I gonna get attacked again?
Well, there's a fun face. Byron and I are patching up before we head home. Hope the Order folks are treating you all right. You stay out of trouble now.
Come on. Can't I go and play with the others?
No can do, chickadee. You're not leaving last night for a while longer yet.
Oh, please, Lucian, spare me! Occupied! Oh, unholy hells!
Tell her she ought to take a break. She sounds totally pooped.
Leave me be, demon! That's what I get. Bloody tainted stew!
Gently ask what she means tainted stew.
Mix a little, fish into some of my stew. Bloody mackerel must have been tainted. Save me, Lucian!
I'll stay out of there, thanks.
Why the devil is this so out in the open?
However, let's put these on. Home for Justinia. Wow. Alright, let's put all these down here in this.
I've spotted something.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
Tell her you're a bit peckish. Does she have any eggs to spare? Say chickens don't know what busy means. I'm gonna go 2.
Peckish? Is that a joke of some kind? If it is, it's only a little funny. But you tried, and that's something. So here, take an egg for your effort.
Busy? Say chickens don't know what busy means.
Oh, you want a list? I've got eggs to lay, grass to tidy, grain to clear, and magister boots to peck. Now if you'll excuse me.
Cool.
Well, ain't you a tall drink of tallness? What can I do for you, honey?
Admire the sheen of her feathers.
She fluffs them and coos.
You're so very, very sweet to notice, honey. Ain't easy keeping him so nice in a dusty town like this. But I do take pride in him.
Wonder if she's got any eggs she's willing to give you.
Sure, why not? Not all of them hatch, you know. And between you and me, honey, I don't mind the taste of an omelette now and again. Go on and scoot then, honey.
Okay.
The cat stares up at you. Its midnight black pupils are too prominent for you to discern the colour of its glazed eyes.
8 lives already gone, but I'd gladly lose the last if you can throw me a fish. One of those smelly kind.
Offer him a fresh fish.
He stares at the fish and meows, a mixture of pleasure and pain. The cat licks his lips and sets his glazed eyes on the feast in front of him.
Maybe I should stick to the good stuff for a while. But I'll miss the shadow.
He pokes his nose at your map, leaving a wet spot.
I think you'll find something interesting there. Found me some goodies during life number 6. Now, if you don't mind, I need a bit of me time.
Okay, cool. So what house is this? Oh, Mortis. Okay.
Useless. Bloody useless. Might as well have rotted in the death fog. What's even the point?
This must be the place Lohar mentioned. It looks unassuming enough.
The dwarf is unnaturally still. You might mistake her for a corpse, were it not for a slight twitch of her eyelids.
Call out to her.
She calmly opens her left eye, then her right.
What do you want?
I'm gonna go with 1 informer of your visit.
The dwarf unfolds her arms and shoots to her feet.
All right, elf. Right glad Lohar ain't left us here to wither. Those brutes are taking their sweet time down there. I gotta send word soon.
Ask what our partners hope to find below.
Who knows? Anything that gives away what Mortis has been up to. Probably got all sorts of tricks for covering his tracks, but the goons downstairs should sniff out something.
Ask more about Mortis.
That weird priest's been hanging around Lohar for ages. Now he's vanished. Those half-wits below will know more.
Thank you for the information.
Get to it then. But tell the lunkheads that Glenn has sent you before they bash your brains.
Oh. That's what I was wondering about. Ah! So I can do it, it's just got to be quick. Or patient, I should say. Oh, wow. Okay, never mind. So either way, she's gonna go after you. Alright, so I guess we'll go downstairs.
Maybe if we had a crowbar.
You think a crowbar would open this thing?
What's this? I found something.
We'd have more luck asking Duke
What'd she find?
than for it to budge
Oh.
by our own hands.
There we go.
Finally.
The door's opening.
My Duna's dagger elf. You here to free us or kill us?
Finger your weapon and smirk. Now, what possible reason would you have to do that harm? Tell me you're here with Glenna's blessing. Yep.
The male dwarf expels 2 lungfuls of air and glances happily at his companion.
We've only been fretting here for a few hours, but it's felt like days. That snot-nosed priest's as slippery as a snake in an oil drum.
Ain't found nothing that lets on what Mortis is up to. Only thing we managed were to close that door and get us stuck. And if there's another door out there, never could find it.
Lohar ain't gonna be pleased.
Smortis, what is he up to? Where has he gone?
Ain't no telling where that priest has gone to. Started acting all funny not so long ago, then flew the coop.
Acting funny, that's what she means.
Well, at first, he was just buddying around with Lohar and the rest, you know. But then he'd start looking all sickly and run off for a day or two. Then some stranger tried taking old Lohar down, but got himself caught and tied up. Ain't no coincidence Mortis went hanging around then.
She taps a finger against her forehead.
A woman knows things. Nothing's getting past me.
Send them away in peace.
Best we head off then. We've got business to attend to.
Okay.
What's this? I found something. A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre.
Okay, so we need to find an eye.
Careful now, that's a trap.
Well, this won't do. If I can get stuck, then I can get unstuck.
Ah, so that's what happened to him.
The shrine depicts Duna, yet has clearly seen better days. Scratches and fissures deface its exterior, and its eyes have been gouged hollow.
I'm gonna do the scholar.
Your words are swallowed by the chamber's thick air.
Reach out and touch the shrine.
The stone is cold against your palm. If this figure once held power, it has since been depleted.
Oh. Oh, strangely enough, he doesn't seem to mention a single creature he's ever heard of. Mortis, you're a lucky man. Your failure to assassinate Lohar could have been ruinous. Yet our Lord proves his grace by not only sparing you, but granting you Mordakim. The ritual requires an excessive release of source, but I'm sure you're anxious to prove your allegiance. Use it wisely. Orders remain the same. See that the weapons from the Peacemaker reach Ark unharmed. I'll await their arrival. And do be careful, there are a number of Godwoken who have escaped from the fort. Should they pass through Driftwood en route to their Meister, be sure to pass no further.
Lohar will want to know of this.
Drawn upon the page is elaborate schematic. It closely resembles the broken shrine to Durden and Mortis' quarters and depicts them operated by a button on the statue's back.
You run your hands along the exterior until your finger... There's no mistake.
A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre. A skull. It's missing an eye. As far as locks go, this one's pretty macabre.
I wonder if the eye is in here somewhere. Maybe it's upstairs. Okay, so now she's left. Boys are starting to question my wits. I know the vulture altar is real. I've sunk too much money in the dig for it not to be. It has to be on the southeast shore. Nowhere else left to look. I was right where I said, only a few feet down, but where did I leave the rest of that cursed book? I forgot the second half of the ritual. Few may hear the calls of the long dead, but for those of a particular nature, the dead are as loquacious as the living. Those so blessed and cursed are drawn to the Stone Garden graveyard, where they might learn the ways of the ancients and beyond. One such mystic was Mangain Ox, who gained expertise in both traps and petrification, and it is said rigged his own Stone Garden scepter with a fossilizing mist to petrify meddlesome invaders. Where's Siebel? Oh, this is Siebel. Okay. What's he got? Finesse and range. Barter leadership.
I'm just another useless elf. Might as well have rotted in the death rock. What's even...
Okay. All right.
Well, I've rotted in the death rock. What's even the point?
Stop your play acting, you smelly sorcerer!
Don't send me away. I'm not a dirty lizard.
Get her, Dallas! Get that sorcerer!
You can figure this out. Come on.
Actually, let's just go way over here. And hopefully they won't get triggered again.
Keeping it together, Bree.
I'm all right, as long as I don't think about it too much.
You're safe among
Oh, here's okay.
The Meister sits slumped in a chair, looking around the room as she works her shoulder with one hand. It looks like it was dislocated by the gallows.
Damnable red cloak baboons ransacking my wardrobes, as if I would keep ancient valuable secrets in a pile with my unmentionables.
She takes a deep breath, and with a twist, a click, and a screech of pain, she shoves her shoulder back into its socket.
Oh, wow, ouch.
I swear by the seven, if we did not have more important matters to attend to.
Reaching across the table, she pulls a bowl of hot water towards her and fishes some bandages, a needle, and thread out of a box. She slowly starts to tend to her wounds.
At least the barbarians were unable to club their way into my vault, so everything you need should be safe.
Ask is what exactly it is that you need.
In your case, more than I suspect, man, God or even reptile can provide. However, we must soldier on. It is not enough to be God-woken in order to ascend to divinity. There is a process.
As she speaks, the Meister uncorks a vial of shimmering liquid, sauce. She lets a couple of drops fall on her hand, but instead of infusing with her body, they quickly evaporate on her scales. She stares at the empty spot on her palm for a long moment before turning back to you, continuing as if nothing had happened.
A process by which God-woken may ascend. It begins with discovering your deepest self, delving into your own soul.
Good. Tell her you want to get started as quickly as possible. I'm gonna nod along. What do you need to do?
We shall begin once we have the tools we need from my vault. You may have been chosen God-woken, but becoming divine requires more than a supernatural pat on the head. Come, God-woken. It is time to see just how awake you are. Fortunately, the Magister thought much more of you are than they do to fashion. Kindly remove that painting from the wall. I pray my instructions will... Your talent for following simple instructions fills me with wonder. Push the button. Now, kindly go to the vault and enter the combination. I shall call it out as you go.
A stone door lies flush with the floorboards. Etched whorls in the granite frame a delicate rotary dial. Gleaming under the dim light, the metallic dial almost seems to wink at you.
Enter the safe combination as the Meister calls it out.
Taking your time, you carefully enter the combination. The metallic sounds of the tumblers falling within the mechanism let you know you entered the code correctly.
Excellent. Follow me. Your time is at hand, God-woken. Feel free to look about while I catch my breath. Come speak to me when you wish to proceed.
This place
And
is an
try not
arcanist
to break
dream.
anything in the meantime.
Huh.
Opening the door, you see a selection.
Strikes me to record my research before I conduct any experiments regarding God-woken's ascension. Ritual itself is quite simple. Place a single piece of black root in this ritual bowl. Draw blood with obsidian lace. Your own is most convenient. Sprinkle it upon the root. Set a flame to the bowl and its contents. Ensure that you have sufficient source. Inhale the resulting smoke. Beyond this point, nothing is known. Alright. I'm actually really tired. So before we get carried away with her, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. And I need to work on my schedule. Yeah, I apologize for Wednesday being canceled. I got home about an hour before stream was gonna go, and I just wasn't having it. I could hardly think. I was like, I'm gonna play this game, which requires a lot of thinking, so I wasn't gonna pull that. We'll be playing Evil Within tomorrow, for sure. Excuse me for that. me get a drink. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. The weekday streams lately have just been kind of wish-wash. I'm still not 100%, as you can probably hear in my voice a little bit. Let's go ahead and get out of this. I just saved, didn't I? Internet. Yeah, I just feel really tired, but that's probably because last night I worked until 8:30 at night after starting at a little before 6 a.m. And then I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go back to work. Luckily today we got canceled, so I only had to work for a few hours before coming home and just relaxing the rest of the day. But I had planned on taking a nap this afternoon, but instead I ended up doing my laundry. So yeah, it's a long day when you get up at 4 a.m. every day and then work 10, 11, 12 hours sometimes. So unfortunately that does cut into my streams, and I don't want to go to all weekends because like Sundays is more of a family day. I usually go see family, or if I'm not doing that, I'm doing stuff around my house, or I'm watching football, especially right now because it's football season. So I might look at shifting that Wednesday stream to maybe Monday. I don't know. I definitely have to figure something out, but at least for tonight, we're done. If you're interested in any of the Divinity series, I've played them all the way up to Original Sin 2. I highly recommend playing them in the order that they were released, even though Original Sin 2 actually takes place shortly after Beyond Divinity. And then Divinity 2 here is after Original Sin 2. And then Original Sin 1 is way before everything. But the reason why you want to play them in order is because the lore explains the different paths, I guess you could say. So I highly recommend playing them in the order that I have listed here. Dragon Commander isn't really a requirement, but it is a very short game. I think it was, what, 3 or 4 streams? And so it's not, it pours a lot of information out, but it's not something you really need in order to play through all the story. But if you're interested in any of my other games that I've played, they're all on my YouTube. I haven't made an Evil Within link yet. Like I said, I've been working long days lately, and it seems Thursday is the one that gets hit. We get hit the most. I mean, last week we had 19-hour Thursday day. This week I worked until 8:30. So I mean, what's that? 14 hours roughly. So hopefully this weekend I can catch up on some sleep. I plan to upload the videos for the Tuesday and Friday stream tomorrow, so we'll get that caught up, and then maybe I'll have time to do the Evil Within uh, shortcut. But I'm gonna do my best to try and keep my schedule as is for the moment. So I try and cancel an hour, at least an hour ahead of time. So if you check my Twitch page, I'll have it on there, canceled. And if I'm not on, then it's just simply I haven't come home from work. I have not. I tried canceling it from my phone using the mobile app, and I could not figure out how to do it. But with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow night for some more Evil Within. We found out Tuesday that we're almost to the halfway mark. We just completed chapter 6, and we're going to start chapter 7. And I think that there's 16 chapters. So, yeah, we spent the all of Tuesday's stream in chapter 6. It was a long chapter. So this game, I think, is a lot. Evil Within is quite a bit longer than I thought it was, but I thought it might be. Heck, I thought we might be done with it by. I don't know. Unless some of these next chapters are a lot shorter than the one we did yesterday on Tuesday, we might be doing Evil Within 1 for a lot longer than I anticipated. Oh well, it doesn't make much difference. It's a game and I'm enjoying it. It's intriguing and it's very mysterious. So I'm kind of wondering where it'll eventually take us. I do know that the second game starts off right where the first game ends, which is why I want to play that one as soon as we finish the first one. So we'll definitely do that. And then after that, we'll return to Valheim and work on defeating the Queen and getting all the best gear because that last stream we unlocked all the top gear that we needed. So I will see you guys tomorrow night. I hope you guys have a good weekend and stay safe out there. Bye bye.